top to Jason Nelson. Nelson gets it back over in the corner. Shots up and no good. But a rebound is going to be by John Sally of Gate City. Here come the Blue Devils right back. Bradley Dean with the basketball. He was looking at the big man, sort of dribbled back out. Gets it back out to Compton. Dean's going to pull from three. His shot's up, no good, but rebound by Reed. And it's going to be taken away quickly as he walks. That's going to be Elijah Seward, got the basketball.
He is just so quick. Reed had the ball, but before he could really bring it under control, he just took it away from him.
You know, Chris, we've seen this team all year long. If you were in Florida, have you seen a team this athletic all season?
I'm not sure I've seen a team this quick. As illustrated right there, Dennis Parker just runs in, takes the ball away, slams, hangs on the rim, though, and draws the tee.
Yeah, he broke away. He stole it from Compton, broke away, nobody around him, and he hung on the rim for probably a couple seconds, sort of did a pull-up, and teed him up. So John Marshall with their biggest lead of the night. However, Bradley Dean goes to the line.
I'm not sure why the Marshall crowd's upset with that call. It was pretty blatant. Of course, I'm not saying in championship game, if I were to have the ability to do that I wouldn't have done the same thing.
So Dean eyes the second shot. Shots up. No good. 42-37. And it will be Gate City basketball. Andrew Hensley will inbound it right in front of us here. Again, we are right on the, if you want to say the visitor side, I guess we are, as gets it into Compton.
On about the 45-yard line.
There you go. As Compton's got the basketball, races down to about the free throw line, gets it into Hensley, who gets bumped, gets it back up to Compton, gets it back to Dean, works the ball around to Hensley. Hensley's going to go up, shots good. Hensley scores for the first time tonight.
That's a good power move by Hensley as well. He went up strong, made the layup. Let's see if he can get on a roll now.
As they try to get the ball, they get it into the big man as he backs his way down, and he travels with the basketball. Turnover by John Marshall, and Marshall arguing the call a little bit. They're up by 3, but here comes Gate City. Compton with the basketball. Brings it across the timeline. He's picked up by Raymond Lynch. Works the ball around, he's in the corner he's trapped. And Gate City will call for time. And let's see what's going to be. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. 6:12 left. John Marshall leads 42-39.
Parker's still fussing, I think, about the technical. But again, I don't know. I guess you choose to show off to pay the price.
Well, and that's, you talk about this John Marshall team that, you make that shot, you don't do anything, you keep your mouth shut, and you run back down. You've got a 6-point lead. It's the biggest of the night. You've got an opportunity to start to extend the lead, but they just, I don't know.
I can understand the adrenaline rush, though, sure. The excitement, state championship game. Yeah, you got to keep your emotions in check here, though.
So, because this is getting clutch time now. That's one thing about this John Marshall team. They've won most games by an average of at least 30 points. They've not been in the close games.
They've been putting up 100 a game, have they not?
Yep. And there's going to be for the first time tonight. Scrum on the floor, 6:05 left, and it will go over to Gate City with the first jump or held ball of the night.
You bring up a good point with that too, Joe. How's Marshall going to react in a close game?
Right.
I don't know. Have they been in any this year?
Well, they had their two losses have come to ESPN top 20 caliber talent in some of these tournaments. They've not really been tested here in the state of Virginia because
you know the margin of the loss, though. Did it come down to the last minute? Have they been in this situation? Is what I'm getting at.
They lost one by 10 and one by 12, I believe.
So they really haven't.
No. So
that could work to Gate City's favor.
And they've had such an easy time in the region. They were winning, like we talked about. They won the game, 135-99 or something like that. So, anyway, Gate City's got the basketball. They inbound it. They get it up. Great play by Sally. Went up, got the rebound, but the ball's going to be swatted away by John Marshall. And here comes the Justices as they shots up and shots good. And it's going to be a 5-point lead by John Marshall. Here comes Gate City back. Bradley Dean with the basketball as he's going to go down. Gets it to Sally. Sally back out to Dean. Dean's going to pull up and for 3, and he's going to draw the foul. Oh, they got him for the walk.
Dean tried to lean in and pick up the foul. They call him with the walk instead.
There was contact, but did the walk occur? I'm going to leave it to the judge, Mr. Carr.
It's a judgment call.
Anyway, all right. John Marshall leads by 5, 44-39. Again, Gate City, as they try to get the ball, and it's going to be a little bit of acting job there by Elijah Seward. Threw up a three-pointer, act like he got hit, but nobody was close to him, as ball's going to be knocked away. And here comes John Marshall, lays it up, and it's going to be a 46-39 lead.
Marshall's amping it up right now, to their credit. Dean now brings the ball down over to the left-hand side. Pulls up at the elbow, kicks it back out to Starnes. Starnes pulls for three, in and out. Rebounded by Roosevelt Wheeler.
46-39 now, as here comes John Marshall, as Gate City, they come down and throw a quick shot up. Gate City gets the rebound, though, and they try to walk it up and gets it to Compton. 4:35 left, 46-39. John Marshall with the lead. Biggest lead of the night for either team is 7. Eli Starnes, they all take a break. Basically, Starnes dribbles over to the right-hand side, gets it to Compton. Compton now with the basketball. He's being guarded by Seward. Looking for a little bit of help over in the corner. Gets it to Dean. Dean with the basketball, gets it back up to Compton, and the ball's going to be knocked away, and it goes off of John Marshall, and it will stay with Gate City.
Yeah, Gate City is really not used to this quickness. Like I said earlier, I don't think they've seen that this season. Their passes are just Marshall stepping in front of them, getting hands on them. They're going to have to tighten that up. I'm not sure Marshall's a better basketball team than Gate City, but I'm saying they are the quickest team Gate City's seen this year.
Starnes has got the basketball, gives it to Hensley, gives it back to Compton. Compton now with the basketball, gets it back to Starnes. Starnes with the basketball, he's around the top of the key, around the three-point line. Looking for a little bit of help. Gets it out to David George, gives it to Dean. Dean being picked up by Woodley. Let's see what happens with Dean. Dean with a great move. He goes in, and shots altered, no good. Rebounded by John Marshall. Here comes the Justices as they get it over the corner. That's going to be to Nelson. Nelson gets it back into the corner to Seward, who missed it and goes out of bounds off of Gate City. Will stay with John Marshall.
Dean had a relatively clear shot at that layup, but I think he was anticipating contact that never came. He wound up missing it.
3:28, and Gate City will call for time. It's going to be a full timeout with 3:28 left, 46-39 here in the third quarter. We'll take a break and come back. You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
I've been having pain in my knees and back, and nothing seems to help.
Call Premier Pharmacy.
I've been having hot flashes, feeling stressed, and have no energy. I wonder what's going on.
Call Premier Pharmacy.
I had breast surgery, and I want to do something about the scar.
Call Premier Pharmacy.
This has been the worst year for my allergies and sinuses.
Call Premier Pharmacy at 423-245-1022. Located at 109 Jack White Drive in Kingsport and accepting all insurances. Call to find out more or stop by for a free consultation.
This is Suzanne Moore of the Gate City Cross Country and Track team, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Let's go, Blue.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
All right, coming out of that timeout, 46-39. 5 on the floor for Gate City will be Dean, Hensley, Compton, Starnes, and George. 3:28 left here in the third quarter. Chris, if you were coach for me, what did you draw up right there?
Good question. Gate City, I would like to see them shoot some more threes, but they're just getting swarmed at the three-point line, but yet they can't really work it inside easily because of the height of Wheeler, so we'll see what they do.
Wheeler gets the inbounds and goes straight up, and he will be fouled. And let's see who they get that one on. I believe they can get that one on Hensley.
Yep, it's going to be 3 on Andrew. Gate City, just earlier in the game, they were getting him on those fast breaks and basically just outrunning Marshall. Marshall's kind of leveled that field back up now, they're playing really physical ball. Of course, the officials are letting them. So Marshall's taking complete advantage of that. Gate City, I think, needs to adapt to maybe that style of play. first free throw by Wheeler is no good.
DeAndre Mack has checked in for Hensley. Again, Mack had a pretty good offensive first half. See if he can continue it here in the second half. As Wheeler eyes the second shot, shots up and good. 47-39, 8 points. And that's going to be the biggest lead by either team here from the Siegel Center. Again, the Class 2A Boys State Championship game between John Marshall and Gate City. Here comes Bradley Dean now. He gets it across the timeline, gets over to the corner to Compton. Compton's three, shots up, shots good. Gate City needed that. And it's 47-42. They've closed within 5. Goes inside to Wheeler. He gets triple teamed, but that height is so tall. And he was able to elevate and get the shot. 49-42, and John Marshall calls for time. Let's see if they go. That's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with them.
I never did get any stat updates for the first, defensively for the first half. Otherwise, I would share those with you. I kept my own, but I was kind of trying to mark some other scores at the same time. That's what I get for relying on someone else to do my job for me.
Unfortunately, but that's all right. So
I can do points, though. So far in the game, Dean has 20, Reed has 2, Starnes has 2, Compton has 8, Hensley with 2, Mack with 6, and Sally with 2. On the other side, for Marshall, Seward's the largest scorer so far. He's got 14. Go back to Wheeler, Gay City. I think's done a really good job containing him. He has 9 points total, and I'm not exaggerating, almost a foot taller than everyone else.
Oh, yeah. All right, so Gate City's got the basketball. They're going to inbound it. Gets it to Compton. Compton with the basketball, brings it up. Gets it to David George. Back over to Compton. Compton working the ball around at the top of the key. He's in there with Starnes, Dean, Mack, and George. That's the 5 on the floor for the Blue Devils. As Dean's going to try to go inside, pulls up from the free throw line, shots up, and no good. Looked like Wheeler was about to dunk it. He got it almost out of the cylinder with the rebound, and here comes John Marshall back. He's going to pull from 3. His shot's up, and no good. But it's going to be recovered. And looked like it. DeAndre Mack looks to be.
Mack and was that Parker were jostling for the ball, and I think Mack got a elbow to the stomach.
The lower,
he's taking a second there.
The lower stomach.
But Mack responded. I think he's figured out the officials are going to let him play physical ball, and he went right at Parker, and they were kind of jostling with each other, and ball goes out of bounds. Gay City's ball.
So, it's a little bit of. Anyway, 2:25 left here in the third quarter, 49-42. As if you can read into radio silence.
Dean said to inbound. Gives it to Starnes. Starnes gives it back to Dean. He's on a break. Pulls up. Goes in. Tries to roll it in. Shot's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Dana Woodley. They kick the ball over quickly. Jason Nelson goes up. Shot's good.
As it goes over, Eli Starnes was camped out there. No call on that, and it's going to be 51-42. 2:02 left as Marshall now really has ratcheted up the defense, going full court, and goes up, lays it in, and it's an 11-point lead as that's the biggest of the night. As it's going to try to trap. Wow, what a...
There's a whistle, and they're going to call Dean with some kind of foul. I don't know what he did,
Dennis Parker has got to get an Oscar. Dean, he flopped. I'm sorry, folks, and I hate to say it. He absolutely flopped. Dean didn't get close to him, and he acted like he got shot and fell back in front of the official, and he called it. I mean, congratulations for the Oscar. So,
well, that's Dean's first of the game. So it's 53-42 now. Marshall leads, 1:43 to go in the third quarter.
They got to keep this thing within about that 10-point margin. As here comes John Marshall with a 3. His shot's up and good by Woodley. 56-42. Here comes Eli Starnes now. Gets it to Bradley Dean. Dean gets it up to Compton. Compton now with the basketball. Works it, gets it back to Dean, who gets wrestled around by Jason Nelson. So they're going to get that foul. And that's going to be the second team foul on John Marshall. Gate City also has 2 here in the second half.
That's really only the first foul committed by Marshall this half. The other one was the technical for hanging on the rim.
Yep. So they get it to Eli Starnes. We're at 1:20 left, 56-42, John Marshall. as he gets the ball around, gets it to Dean.